candles, magic, it's, you know, come on. Come on, guys, you know. I'll talk more about it at the end of the video, but if you want to get in the mood for the fall season with Disney park smells in your very own home, visit Magic Candle Company and use offer code OFFHAND15 for 15% off. Thank you, Magic Candle Company, for sponsoring this video, and now projections. I hate them so much.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
Guys, I gotta be real with you here. Disney's been making some pretty good rides recently. We all know we've been on Rise of the Resistance, we've been on, what's that other one? Oh yeah, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. Those rides are really, really well done. They're fantastic. But Disney has recently been going down a path I would not like them to tread any further down, and that is the pathway toward projection-faced animatronics. This is gonna be a rant video, you know? I feel like I'm not gonna make too much sense here, just rambling on about projection-faced animatronics and how much I hate them, but this video needs to be made, okay? Disney needs to know how terrible these things are. You guys, this is a problem sweeping through Disneyland and Walt Disney World, and we need to act. We need to stop it before it goes too far. And trust me, it isn't just limited to the faces of animatronics, because they do look a little unnerving. And it's not just about the faces of these Disney princesses. It goes far, far beyond that. So everyone buckle up and prepare for me to complain for the better part of 7 or 8 minutes about the projection faces on animatronics and how much they suck. Disney has a very long history of projection in its parks, even back in the early days of Disneyland. A very simple form of projection was used in dark rides, where they would shine a simple shape onto various sets in the ride, like Peter Pan flying off into London at the very beginning of Peter Pan's flight. And especially in the Haunted Mansion, when it opened in 1969, because, I mean, come on, what better way to have ghosts dancing in a ballroom than to sort of project them via light onto a sheet of glass? And of course, what's often considered to be one of the first projection animatronics, Madame Leota. Who could forget about her? As the years passed though, Walt Disney World opened and computers grew more and more advanced by the year, projections were used mainly on the castle during nighttime spectaculars, although they were in rides here and there. Then when Fantasmic opened in 1992 at Disneyland, projections were a huge part of the story. A massive screen of water on top of the rivers of America in front of Tom Sawyer Island would help tell the story of Mickey's dreams and nightmares. It was in 2006 though when projection effects and animatronics really began to show up in classic Disney rides. In Pirates of the Caribbean, when we transitioned from the cave scene to the ship battle scene, a screen of mist was put in between the two scenes to act as more of a hard transition. A video of a waterfall was projected onto the mist, and every now and then the head of Davy Jones would pop out of the mist and warn us that dead men do tell tales. So says I, Davy Jones. You know, that sort of thing. Meanwhile, over at Pirates of the Caribbean's counterpart, a brand new bride was being installed in the attic. And this ghost, Constance Hatchaway, proved to be a very important animatronic in the span of Disney history. She was the first mostly projection animatronic used in any Disney ride. If you look at Constance with the lights on, she looks to be just a department store dress form, geared up, of course, in her wedding dress with other white fabrics that are blown with a fan to give the illusion of it floating ghostily in the air. The rest of her movement and animation are provided entirely through projection, at least I think. The shoulders kind of throw me off and I'm not quite sure those are projections, but hey, one of you Imagineers, let me know in the comments below. But for sure, her face, chest, and hands whenever they're holding the axe are 100% projection. And Constance being one of the earliest projection animatronics kind of furthers my case, because you ride past her these days and you're a little confused. Especially at Disneyland, when you ride past this mostly motionless bride just kind of standing there grinning at you with her weird stretched out face, and then immediately go past this amazing fluid animatronic which also uses projections, but in a very different way that seems to work better for me. It's just very weird seeing the static Constance animatronic, I guess you could call it, right next to the Hatbox Ghost one, because they both vary heavily in terms of quality. Skipping ahead but staying in the Haunted Mansion now, when Haunted Mansion Holiday first opened at Disneyland, a physical sculpture of Jack Skellington was placed at the top of the stretching room to replace the ghost host hanging himself. And different lights would glow on different sections of the sculpture to give the sort of illusion of Jack talking with you. After a few years though, the scrim at the top of the room was replaced with, yes, a screen. It's not quite a projection, but I just wanted to run it past you guys because, I mean, look at this. I hate this. This looks terrible. Speaking of things that look terrible, though, the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, one of the coolest rides at Walt Disney World, I think. I'm really torn because if you sit in the front, it's a cute little roller coaster. If you sit in the back, it's a very exciting roller coaster, and there are references to the original Snow White's Scary Adventures there, like the vultures or the animatronics in the end scene. But the part of the ride that's supposed to blow your socks off is when you first go into the Seven Dwarfs Mine, and let me say, the sets, the rock work, and the gems shining all over the place, and the bodies of the animatronics are all amazing. But then you look at the dwarfs' faces, and they're glowing really bright, and they're in like 480p resolution. The rest of the ride is absolutely phenomenal, but when you're in the mine and looking at the faces of the dwarfs, I don't know, it's just very unnerving to me. It looks so obviously fake, like you can't put a projection that close to you. Maybe when it's on the castle and far away and very, very high res, like with Happily Ever After, maybe that could look good, but this is not gonna cut it. Skipping ahead now to 2014 and the replacement of Maelstrom with Frozen Ever After, which is one of my favorite rides at the Disney parks because I love Frozen, but also because it's a classic Disney boat ride with drops and amazing animatronics. Like I said, their bodies and movements, their faces. No! This is not what we wanted, Disney! This is not what we needed! These poor children in Offhand Disneys are so excited to see Elsa finally, and now they have nightmares forever. And they're just so bright. And I'm not going to pretend like our favorite Hatbox Ghost is immune to these sort of problems. It happens to him, but you know, nightmares are what we're going for in the Haunted Mansion. Listen, I'm not gonna make excuses. Projections seem to be a lot easier to do than physical face animatronics. It's easier for people to animate different facial expressions or features on a projection video. You don't have to sculpt out a cartoon face and then make sure that looks sort of semi-realistic and then animate it with mechanics inside the face. And it can allow for more fantastical animations, like with the Hatbox Ghost or even Constance. But when you take a look at the recently opened Beauty and the Beast ride at Tokyo Disneyland, it's really, really hard for me to get behind the projection faces in rides like Frozen Ever After. And there are rides that do projection so well, like Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, one of the coolest rides I've ever been on. But see, the whole thing is projections. There's nothing to contrast it with. When you have these darkly lit physical sets in rides like Frozen or the Haunted Mansion, and then you see a projection face, it's like going from a super immersive dark ride to watching a TV. But like I said, this is a rant. There are pros and cons on both sides. Which do you prefer looking at? Do you think the animations in the projection-faced animatronics work a little bit better for what they're used for, or do you prefer the physical, real-face animatronics, like Belle from the Beauty and the Beast dark ride at Tokyo that just recently opened that is mind-blowing? But at the end of the day, whether you think projection animatronics are good or bad, we can at least all take comfort in the fact that they'll give us a bit of a laugh sometimes with things like this, and this, and this. Watching this video on why I think projection animatronics can be kinda dumb sometimes. Remember, this video is sponsored by Magic Candle Company. If you're interested in getting some fall festive candles, head over there and use code OFFHAND15 for 15% off. You can also get the haunted candle if you're feeling kinda spooky. Lots and lots of candles there. Too many for me to go over in this video, but if you're interested, head over there. It's good. They have a very wide selection. They even have hand sanitizer. If you're interested in supporting the channel and getting early access to episodes, visit my Patreon in the link down in the description down below, and follow me on Twitter for more updates regarding videos. I found some of the images I used in today's video through you guys on Twitter, so thank you so much for that. And everybody, that is going to, I think, wrap it up for this video. A little bit of a shorter one that I just wanted to get off my chest and just have a little bit of fun talking about fun, stupid animatronics. So, guys, thank you for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye.